Good morning, Facebook. Good morning, Periscope. How are y'all doing this morning? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Come on in. Make sure you put your name in the comments so I know who you are and I can give you a good morning. Also, make sure you're sharing out this broadcast with your friends. Hey, Storm, how are you? With this broadcast with your friends, double tapping the heart. Double tapping the screen to give me heart love. Thank you, Peter. Peter33 on Periscope. I truly, truly appreciate it. And we're going to get in today. So, welcome to the Money Matters Morning Show. I am your host, Nefateria Robinson, and I am a certified professional coach and author, and I help women entrepreneurs get their finances together by acting, activating their faith, commit to the plan, and take action so they can pursue their passions without counting their pennies. And to reintroduce myself or to introduce myself for the first time to some of you who are new to my broadcast, let me tell you a little bit about my background. Well, one of the first things I learned, or one of the first scriptures I learned as a little girl was, "Oh, no man nothing but to love him." And that comes from Romans 13:8. And by me learning that scripture, that helped to be one of the first act principles that I have in my book, How to Act. Activate your faith, commit to your plan, and take action, that you can get at bit.ly/how, the number 2 ACT, of keeping God first. Then another encounter that I had when it came to money was I learned how to balance a checkbook in the 4th grade. And I know you're saying, how did you learn how to balance a checkbook in the 4th grade? Well, what happened was our teacher gave us an assignment to bring in gently used toys, and she basically did an auction of these gently used toys. And we had to purchase the toys that we won by writing a check. So what happened was I purchased 2 items. When I went back to actually write out the check, I realized, good morning to you on Periscope, I realized that I did not have enough money in the bank account to purchase the 2 items. Give me 1 second, guys. Sorry about that. So I didn't have enough money to do that. So that also taught me to watch my spending, which is also another one of my ACT principles. So even as early as the 4th grade, I learned how to balance a checkbook, which made me realize that I had to watch my spending, and that stuck with me as an adult. And also, I also had an encounter where me and my mom, we went to the bank to get some money. We got cash, we put it in the envelope, and as you all know, most of us always do this. If we're in the passenger side, we put our purse or whatever we got in our arms in the feet of the car where our feet are. So what happened was she was actually taking me to my job to get my check, and what happened was evidently I kicked the money out of the car. So when we got down the road and start to look for this money, we could not find it. Could not find it. And of course, my mom was very upset. But even at a young age, I knew the responsibility or being responsible for my money. So I took out my personal checkbook, and at that very moment, I wrote my mom a check for the $400. Yes, at that tender young age of, I probably was about 16 at that time, took out my own checkbook and wrote her the money, because I realized right then and there that you have to be responsible with money, that if you owe somebody, you need to pay what you owe. And it was my responsibility to hold on to that money that we got from the bank for her and to watch over it, and I was careless. So because of my carelessness, I lost her $400, but then I actually paid it back. So I do totally believe in you should pay what you owe. Also, I have an aunt. When I got at some point in my life, I went to stay with my aunt and my grandmother, and my aunt taught me when I got my job in their local area, she was like, you spend the sum, but you save the hundreds. Shout out to my AKA Aunt Shorty B. I won't reveal her name. But I appreciate and I love you for that life lesson, to save the hundreds and spend the sum. Save the hundreds and spend the sum. So when I got a check in that, when I got a job in that area and say I made $220, I can only spend the $20, and the $200 was saved. And that also helped me create the principle of my book called Save and Save Some More, just from my experiences and the women that impacted my life with the financial lessons that they taught me. And so I could see how my bank account, and I learned how to live off whatever that sum was, and my bank account kept growing and growing because I did save the hundreds. And so today's lesson, we're talking about counting the cost. And for those who don't know, normally on the Money Matters Morning Show, I talk all things faith, finances, and the freedom of entrepreneurship. So today I'm talking about counting the cost in the sense of when you're getting ready to possibly outsource some of your tasks as an entrepreneur. Sometimes we get so overwhelmed with all the things that we have to do, and this can apply to if you're not an entrepreneur, when you're hiring out for lawn work or a paint job or something like that. So it's going to be applicable whether you're an entrepreneur or not. But at the end of the day, you have to count the cost. You have to be mindful of the people that you hire. And a lot of times we get in a mode of desperation and need help so urgently or so bad that the only thing we're looking at is how much they cost, or how much it's going to cost me to use that particular person's service. And we need to be mindful of more than that. We need to actually be an entrepreneur. To me, you need to take them through a hiring process. Some of my business besties think I do too much, but I've realized when I've just hired out of desperation, or I just need somebody right now, and did not take the necessary steps of maybe having some type of job application, doing some type of skills assessment, checking some types of references, things of that nature, it ended up costing me in the long run, whether it cost me more money or if it cost me more time, it still ended up costing me when I did not take the necessary steps to plan accordingly before I just hired somebody, brought them on board, brought them to be a part of my team, start, training them and sharing with them and stuff like that. So I just want you guys to be mindful and count the cost. Whether you're hiring a contractor for your house or you're hiring an independent contractor to help you with your business, make sure you have protocols in place. And I'm ex-military, so SOP, standard operating procedures in place. Make sure that you have some kind of application process. There's all kinds of templates online, or you can create your own. Do some type of skills assessment. Ask them, well, how good are you at Microsoft Office if you're looking for like an admin assistant, or if you're looking for somebody to do your graphics. Well, ask them about Adobe Photoshop, InDesign, all these other Dreamweaver, all these other graphic design type software. Ask them, rate their knowledge of it. Are they a beginner? Are they an expert? And it's not to say that you may not hire a beginner, but you just need to know where they are so that when you task out certain things to them, you know what the end result may be due to their experience. Also, you may want to ask them to do a simple task as part of your application process or your hiring process to see how they do that. If you're hiring somebody to come and paint your home or put in hardwood floors, get references, check the reviews on various sites. Just do your due diligence when it comes to hiring somebody, whether you're hiring somebody for your business or hiring somebody for your personal life. I want to encourage you all today to make sure you count the cost. And count the cost doesn't always mean about the money, but it also sometimes means about what it's going to cost you, whether it's going to be time or money, if you don't do the proper steps in the beginning to ensure that you're getting the best person for the job. So just kind of sum up today's topic. Let's talk about counting the cost when it came to the hiring process. So it's up to you how detailed or how lengthy or what steps you want to be in your hiring process. For me personally, I have a job application. I also have, once they complete the standard job application, they have to also then complete an application based on what type of job or position they're applying for. And then once they do that, I also may give them one simple task to do to see how they communicate with me, how if they have questions, do they ask me, do they just go on their own and do whatever, do they follow my instructions, do an interview, whether it's over the phone or if they're at distance, you might can do a Skype interview. Trust your instincts when it comes to that hiring process. Also, you may want to have a probationary period. Make sure, another thing that's very, very important for you entrepreneurs is to get your tax forms in order. Make sure when you're outsourcing or hiring somebody that you get the proper tax forms completed, because if you're spending $600 or more in a year, now ask your accountant about this. That's my disclaimer. Make sure you ask your accountant about this to make sure I'm giving you correct information. But from what I understood from my accountant, if you're paying somebody $600 or more and they're from the United States, they have to complete a W-9. And it's hard to get people to come do that once they've completed the job. So if you're hiring a web designer, you're hiring somebody that you feel like you're going to hire them periodically, or you're going to end up spending more than $600, make sure you get that W-9 completed as part of, before you even hire them or pay them their first cent or their first deposit. Get that W-9 completed. If you outsource outside of the United States, you have to get a W-8 BIN, as in like Ben Franklin, completed by that particular individual. But like I said, verify this information with your accountant, with your CPA, to make sure that you have the proper tax forms in order when you're hiring somebody if you're an entrepreneur. Personally, if you're hiring somebody Then I would, like I said, check and see if they're bonded, see if they're a reputable company. Check the business, business. I think it's called Business Bureau or whatever. Just check, follow up. Make sure before you allow somebody to do some work in your home, that they're a reputable company. So once again, I am Nefateria Robinson. You can catch me here on weekday mornings, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So make sure you download the Periscope app so you get the notifications when I go live. Make sure you're following me on Facebook at Nefateria F. Boya. And so you can also get the notifications there as well. Make sure you're sharing this, giving me some likes. Make sure you tag your friends, your followers, your coworkers if you feel like this is some information that would be vital and important to them. Also, if you are in the local RDU area and you're an emerging entrepreneur, and I'm getting welcome to join my meetup. If that's something you're interested in, I did put it in the description where you can sign up to be a part of that meetup. We should be getting started in June. And also, if you're a person that has a small debt of less than $500, I do have a free initiative. It's called the 21-Day Debt Elimination Initiative, where I take you through 21 very small and simple steps that helps you eliminate a debt of $500 or less. And what if you got more than a $500 debt? The money that you save, you can put towards that smallest debt. Either way, it still works, and you get that in the form of email. So also, if that's something that you'll be interested in, you can join that initiative at bit.ly 21-day DEI. And also, if you have already purchased my book, I truly, truly appreciate that. And if you haven't, you can get it at bit.ly/how_ACT. And also, I'm asking people that already purchased my book if they will host an ACT book party for me. If you're interested in doing that, make sure you go to bit.ly/host-NEF event, and I can tell you more information about that and how you can host an ACT book party. If there's a question, please put it in the comments. If I get off the broadcast before I answer your question, I definitely will check back and answer your question in the comments. I thank you for your time. I appreciate it, and I thank you for joining me this morning. And I will see you soon. And remember, don't plan to act, but act on your plan. Take care. Bye.